All right, everybody. Welcome to our July 6th podcast. Today is July 6th, Wednesday, under the zodiac sign of Cancer. And today we're going to take a trip back to the 1820s. And we're going to start with introducing our guest, my best buddy, Ricky Roundhouse. And then today we're going to start with the sixth president of the United States, and that was John Quincy Adams. His by name was Old Man Eloquent. He was a part of the Democrat-Republican Party, and then he was also part of the Federalist Party and then the National Republic Party.
That's a
Before,
little confusing.
just a little. I mean, what's a Democrat, Republican?
Democratic Republican Party. I'm assuming it's probably the beginning of the parties themselves. They didn't start until around the 1800s.
Huh. I've never heard of the Republican Party. It's always just been Democrat, Republican, Federalist, and then National. That's the
Or
ones I've always
libertarian.
known. Well,
Yeah.
and Libertarian, yeah. But before he was president, he served on the U.S. Senate from 1803 to 1808. He was president from 1825 to 1829. His vice president was John C. Calhoun. He was born in Quincy, which was then called Braintree, Massachusetts, on July 11th, 1767, and then he died February 23rd, 1848, at the ripe old age of 80. He was the eldest son of the second president, John Adams. I did not know that until I did this research. I just,
I
I
didn't
just,
either.
I just never put it together.
No, neither did I. I wouldn't have assumed, honestly, being that close together.
Yeah. According to Britannica.com, John Quincy Adams was said to be one of America's greatest diplomats. He formulated, among other things, what is called the Monroe Doctrine, which was the cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy, declaring that the Old World and the New World have different systems and must remain distinct spheres.
Well,
That was, I can't remember exactly, but the Monroe Doctrine was, he formulated it, but it was implemented under President Monroe.
okay, gotcha. That's why the name change.
Yeah. In his post presidential years, he served as a U.S. congressman from 1831 to 1848. He often fought a dramatic fight against the expansion of slavery. And then he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for Great Americans in 1905.
1905, Great Miracles.
Yeah, yeah.
So now let's move on to the seventh president of the United States, which was Andrew Jackson. He died not too far from where I'm living currently. His by name would be Old Hickory. We actually have Old Hickory, Tennessee, named after him.
Oh, nice.
He was part of the yeah, he was part of the Democratic Party. Before he was president, he served in the House of Representatives from 1796 to 1797, and the United States Senate from 1797 to 1798. So went from House of Representatives straight into the Senate right afterwards, but then wasn't even president until 1829.
Damn.
So, yeah, his vice president was Martin Van Buren. Andrew Jackson was born in the Waxhaws region of South Carolina on March 15th, 1767, and died, like I said, near Nashville's Old Hickory, Tennessee, on June 8th, 1845. Jackson was an American lawyer, general, and a statesman. He was an expansionist president and sought to advance the rights of the common man against the corrupt aristocracy and to preserve the Union. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame for Great Americans in 1910. So 5 years after sixth president.
Not bad. Cool guy. Met him once. Yep.
I've been to his house where he passed away. Actually started when we were in grade school. They took us on field trips there, and of course took my daughters there. So
Oh, nice. That's neat. So let's move across the pond to the UK. Between 1820 and 2022, there have obviously been dozens of UK prime ministers, all with varying terms, and some have served more than once. Just obviously, like our US presidents, they can serve more than once, right?
yeah,
So the shortest term was Arthur Wellesley, first Duke of Wellington. He served for a whole 23 days from November 17th to 1834 to December 9th, 1834. And this was during the reign of King William the Fourth.
you wonder what he did to only serve 23 days,
I
or did
know,
he
right?
die?
Should have looked that up, I guess, huh? Let's see. Wellesley had previously served as prime minister several years before this, serving for 2 years and 299 days from January 22nd, 1828 through November 16th, 1830. This was mostly during King George IV's reign. One of his major accomplishments was being one of the commanders who took down Napoleon during the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
Oh,
So
well, that
basically,
brings us to the
so basically, he's a badass.
yeah. That's what it sounds like because Napoleon didn't. He wasn't playing around. So that
No,
brings us on to the longest term himself. It was Robert Jenkinson, second Earl of Liverpool. He served for 14 years and 206 days from June 8th, 1812 to April 9th, 1827. That's a long time to be in Parliament.
that's like
You,
you got to be like bored of the position at some point, right?
well, you would think that you'd say, is this the farthest I'm going? Can I go any further? If this is the farthest I'm going, what am I still doing here?
Maybe he did it to see how far he could go. He's like, I'm just gonna see how far I can make it.
Yeah, it is. I would say some things, but this was during mostly King George III's reign and some of King George IV's reign. Jenkins did many things during this time as prime minister and had many important events happen while he was. When King George III became incapacitated, he helped manage the Prince Regent, who was George IV. He was also the prime minister of Waterloo during Waterloo.
So he was kind of a badass.
Yeah, I think the first one was just more, I'm pretty bad. The second one is, I'm going to ride the coattails of whatever I can.
There you go. All right, that's all the prime ministers and monarchies we got for this episode. But on to some noteworthy news. This is we got quite a bit in this section. We're starting on July 1st, 1820. That was the. This is all news and stuff from all over the place, not just the UK and America. This is everywhere.
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. There you go. So July 1st, 1820, it was the first edition of the newspaper Courrier de la Meuse, published in the Netherlands. So it was their first newspaper in the Netherlands. And
Nice.
then this one's July 1st through July 3rd, 1863, of course, the Battle of Gettysburg and the American Civil War. The Battle of Gettysburg is considered one of the most important engagements in the Civil War. A great victory over Union forces and for General Robert E. Lee. The Union's army was commanded by General George G. Meade at the time. As a, I don't know, have you been to Gettysburg?
I have not actually.
That's one place I really want to go.
That's on the bucket list for sure.
Yeah. The, what is that movie? Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah,
Ever since I saw that movie and they're doing their runs there and stuff at the Battle of Gettysburg, it made me want to go there.
yeah. Murfreesboro, Tennessee has a few of the battles, big spots set up. I've been to many times. I love seeing all that, seeing the history of where it happened and how it happened.
Yeah. Do they do reenactment shows and stuff there?
Yes, they do.
Awesome. I want to go to one so bad. But let's go July 1st, 1845. The Cobble Hill Tunnel in Brooklyn, New York was completed.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
July.
an achievement in 1845.
I
That
know,
really
right?
is.
I mean, all done in big part by hand, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that,
I've never been through it or anything, so I don't know, how big it is, but I imagine it's not small.
yeah. Wouldn't be worth putting the time into it if it
Yeah,
was.
there you go. July 1st, 1863, the American Civil War Emancipation Proclamation takes effect in the Confederate States of America or the Confederate Territories. July 1st, 1863, the first claim under the Homestead Act is made by Daniel Freeman in Nebraska.
Oh, that.
Yeah, there's still some states that do that too. The
Isn't
Homestead
Alaska one of
Act.
them?
I think so. And a lot of southern states, or a few. I mean, last I checked,
Yeah.
anyways, there were a couple. Then let's see, July 1st, 1877, Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom is proclaimed Empress of India. So that's when she's like, "This is mine now."
Yep.
Thanks.
Pretty much.
And then July 1st, 1892, Ellis Island opens to begin processing immigrants into the United States.
Where nearly every person's ancestor came through.
Yeah, damn near
Nearly.
right.
So we got July 2nd, 1860 is Planet Vulcan. Star Trek, the hypothetical planet, is announced at a meeting of the French Academy of Sciences in Paris, France. So just to come up with an entire planet, a language, everything takes a long time and years. But in 1860, they finally did it. That's a lot of time. Then we got July 2nd, 1900. American statesman and diplomat John Hay announces the open door policy to promote trade with China. And in July 2nd of 1920, the second Palmer raids takes place with another 6,000 suspected communists and anarchists arrested and held without trial. These raids took place in several of the U.S. cities.
6,000. That's that's a lot.
And then just arrested and held, no trial, no nothing.
Hey, he's a communist. Arrest him. Wait,
And
is
I
he a
guess that's
communist? I don't know. Arrest him anyways.
I guess that's how you got rid of your neighbors when you didn't like them.
Yeah, and then people were doing that kind of thing here with COVID too.
Oh yeah,
But let's go on to July 3rd, 1823. Stephen F. Austin receives a grant of land in Texas from the government of Mexico. Stephen F. Austin, also known as the Father of Texas, founder of Anglo Texas, led the second and ultimately final successful colonization of the region, bringing 300 families and their slaves from the U.S. to the Tejas region in 1825.
wow,
Yeah,
that's a feat.
yeah. Oh, he was born November 3rd, 1793, and died December 27th, 1836. So, not long after he settled the
Just
region there.
yeah, just in his 40s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, people didn't live long back then, right?
that's true. Except our presidents.
Yeah.
70 and 80-year-old presidents that are living. I mean, Jackson was one of them.
July 3rd, 1848, Joseph Jenkins Roberts is sworn in as the first president of Liberia. President of the independent African Liberia is what that.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
July 3rd, 1870, construction began for the Brooklyn Bridge.
Wow.
I didn't know it was that old. I thought it was,
I,
you know,
I thought it was right around the industrial 1900s.
yeah, that's about what I thought it was too. Let's see. July 3rd, 1861, the American Civil War. Delaware votes to not secede from the United States. Way to go, Delaware. July 3rd, 1888, the refracting telescope at Lick Observatory, measuring 91 centimeters, that's about 3 feet, operated now by the University of California, located on the summit of Mount Hamilton, was used for the first time. It was the largest in the world at the time. It's 3 foot long and it's the largest in the world. That's
It's amazing how
mind-boggling,
far we've come. Yeah.
right? Now they got some that are the size of buildings, and well, hell,
Yeah.
they got some up in space.
Exactly.
July 3rd, 1925, Benito Mussolini announces that he is taking dictatorial control powers over Italy.
Another one that says, "Yep, it's mine now."
Yep. I'm going to take this, thanks. There's
Yeah, it's
nothing
all
you can do
about.
about it.
It was all about whose army was bigger and didn't even have to fire a shot.
Yep.
So we got July 4th, 1847. Samuel Colt sells his first revolver pistol to the United States government. Either
Thank you,
that was,
Samuel Colt. Thank you, Samuel Colt.
yes, that, exactly. So we got same day, 1865, the New York Stock Exchange opens its first headquarters at 1012 Broad near Wall Street in New York City, named New York, New York. So we got,
I didn't know the stock exchange was that old either.
I
That's
thought it was around the 1900s as well. So July 4th, 1896, Utah is admitted as the 45th U.S. state.
way to
Can you
go,
imagine?
Utah. So that moves us. Oh, we didn't say anything about obviously Independence Day because we did a Independence Day episode. But yes, July 4th, 1776, we won our freedom.
Exactly. It's not much more that needs to be said than was said yesterday.
Yeah. So July 5th, 1846, the United States House of Representatives votes to stop sharing the Oregon Territory with the United Kingdom. So we were like, get out of here.
That's when we've said we're done. Get
Yeah,
out. Bye.
yeah. Get out of my state. July
Let's be
5th,
down the drain there.
same day, same year, July 5th, 1846, an Austrian newspaper reports that Wilhelm Röntgen has discovered a new type of electromagnetic radiation, later known as the X-ray.
Another one. That's 1800s,
I know.
pre 1850, and you got the X-rays.
And it's just how do I can't even picture how they would do that back in 1846. I mean, what are they
Yeah,
using?
exactly. They were still horse and buggy.
Yeah.
So that brings us to July 6th, 1839. Alfred Vail demonstrated a telegraphy known as telegraph system using dots and dashes. This is now the front runner for Morse code. Same day, same year, the night of the big wind, named most damaging storm in 300 years, swept across Ireland, damaging or destroying more than 20% of the houses in Dublin.
That
So we got
is
the telegraph on one side, and we've got 20% of the houses and people displaced are dead.
that's that's crazy right there.
Yeah,
That Either the houses were just trash, or that's one hell of a windstorm. That's nuts.
Yeah.
20% of the houses.
That's what, taking Texas off our map?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Uh,
pretty strong. That's a lot of space.
Too bad they didn't have the what you call it, the things that measure the wind speed. So we
Doppler.
guess how hard the wind is blowing.
How many knots today, son?
All right, that was it for news across the world. Now we're gonna move into some births and some deaths. Deaths. July 2nd, 1820, George Law Curry, an American newspaper publisher and governor of Oregon, was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he died in 1878.
So then we've got July 5th, 1820. William John McHorn Rankine, the Scottish mechanical engineer and physicist, born in Edinburgh. He also died in 1872.
And that's all we got for births. Apparently, those were the only two born. Anyways. And on to deaths. William Faulkner, American novelist, died July 6th, 1962. He was born on September 25th, 1897. One of his famous works was The Sound and the Fury. Never read it.
I have not read that one, but the next one, a lot of people have. We've got the British Arthur Conan Doyle. A lot of people heard of him, don't realize they've heard of him.
Yeah.
He died on July 7th, 1930. He was born May 22nd, 1859, and it's one of his most famous works, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
They're still making Sherlock Holmes movies today.
Isn't Robert doing another one? Robert Downey Jr.?
I believe so.
I can't remember. But yeah,
I think that might be the third one in that series. Yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, we actually do have some sports news. On July 9th, 1877, the very first Wimbledon championship happens. That's tennis, for those of you who don't know. It was the first official lawn tennis tournament and men's singles only.
Back to a time where it was men's singles only.
1870, that's another one that it's just like, I didn't know tennis was that old, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you would think that it would be a little older. Who knows? Because it's such a easy setup sport, but
yeah,
I guess not. So we've got Babe Ruth. He makes his debut in Major League Baseball on July 11th of 1914. He was the pitcher for the Boston Red Sox and won in his first outing against the Cleveland Naps 4-3.
Cleveland
Babe Ruth.
Naps. Who are they now? I don't know. I don't know baseball.
I don't remember on top of my head. I should have looked that one up.
That's all we got for births and deaths. But we got a couple more tidbits of info to pass on. We got on July 7th, 1947, the Roswell incident happened, and then didn't happen. Did it happen or didn't happen?
That still, yeah. So we've also got July 9th, 1971. Henry Kissinger visited China to negotiate a détente between the U.S. and China. That's a cease of hostilities to cool everything out between the two of us.
Hey, calm down, guys. Let's just calm down.
Yes.
1971. Yeah.
It's amazing it took that long, 1971,
Yeah.
for us to finally be cool with China.
Can we be friends now? All right, everybody. Well, that's all we have for today. I'm Bobby Booch.
And I'm Ricky Roundhouse.
Yes, there are hundreds of more historical events that happened in July. Sorry if we didn't get to your favorite part. As much as I'd like to, we can't get to all the interesting stuff. But please tune in for our next episode on Friday, July 8th, where we'll be going back to the 1920s.